Now joining us is Cryssie. And Cryssie lives in the capital city of the great state of Montana, Helena. You know, when you go to Montana, the camping is extraordinary. And one night, Cryssie went camping with a few friends and a man named Andrew. And that evening, Cryssie and Andrew were seduced by that big Montana sky and had a one-night stand. Soon after that, Cryssie realized she was pregnant with her now one-year-old son, Zayden. And now Andrew says he wants nothing to do with Cryssie and completely denies that he's Zayden's father. So, one night under the sky in Montana, huh, Cryssie?
Yes, Maury, one night.
Here's the thing. He was a friend of yours first, right?
Yes, Maury, me and him used to be best friends.
And then what happened?
He decided to abandon me. He left and wanted nothing to do with me.
Was that as soon as you told him you were pregnant?
It was right after I told him I was pregnant.
And what did he say when you told him you were pregnant?
When I told Andrew I was pregnant, he told me that he wanted nothing to do with me or my son and that I needed to abort.
He said he didn't know you were pregnant till you were 8 months pregnant.
That's a lie, Maury.
Did he block you on social media?
Yes, he did.
Maury, she was 8 months pregnant when she called me.
I called you when I was just in the beginning stages of my pregnancy. I just got a test taken. I went to the OBs. I had my first ultrasound. I texted you and said, hey, Andrew, I'm pregnant. What are we going to do about it? You told me you wanted nothing to do with me and to abort.
That's a different story than you told, right, Andrew?
Yeah. What had happened is we had the one night stand, and then she kept trying to turn it into a relationship, and then after that, it decided to go. I was done. Obviously, I hit the block button. 8 months go by, and bam.
So what you're saying, Andrew, is that she wanted a relationship and you didn't. Is that the way it was, Cryssie?
Yeah.
Did you want to?
No, Maury.
No?
I never wanted a relationship. Why would I get in a relationship with someone that disrespects me?
You all were friends, weren't you?
Yeah, we used to be.
Sounds
he
like
saved me from a very toxic relationship.
Sounds like the one night of sex destroyed the relationship.
I fully agree.
So you give birth, Cryssie. Who was there?
One of my good friends was there.
And
actually, to be honest, she caught my son. I barely made it to the hospital, and the receptionist didn't believe me that I was in full-on labor, and I turned to my friend and told her to pull down my pants and catch, and she delivered my son.
You're kidding?
Yes.
I mean, you were standing or you were lying down or what?
I was standing at the receptionist's office trying to get checked in.
Meanwhile, there were some issues, right, with Zayden, and he had to be in the NICU, right?
Yes, Zayden had a really, really fast delivery, and with being delivered really fast, he decided to inhale some amniotic fluid, and he could not breathe properly for 4 days, and I was really worried at the time. I didn't know whether or not I was going to be able to take home my son.
And he came through okay?
Yeah, he's the perfect, most amazing, bouncing little boy today.
So what happened when you told Andrew that you had given birth?
He honestly didn't want anything to do with me and blocked me more.
And who wanted to get the DNA test, you or him?
I did.
I did.
Multiply texted him and messaged him. Last time I messaged him was April of last year. And I asked him if we could do a paternity test, and he refused it and asked me for a picture of Zayden's right foot.
So hold it right there, because that's one of the reasons why Andrew denies this child. And Andrew is with us. Tell me about the right foot, Andrew.
It is a genetic passed down from my grandfather to my dad to my uncle to my other uncle to me, and then down to my daughter.
What is it?
The right two toes in the hand on the foot curl under the right three, going this way on the right foot.
What you're saying is this baby, Zayden's toes, do not curl like your toes.
Nope.
And that's one of your big reasons why you're not the father of this child.
Hey,
Yep,
Maury, can I ask you a question? How can you determine paternity and DNA by a foot? Wouldn't it have to be by a swab or by blood? Because there's different parents on both sides.
Yeah, but Cryssie, you know, on this show, I've had people say, well, I've got birthmarks on all of my other kids and birthmarks on my my parents and birthmarks here, and I have an extra finger on my hand. I mean, there's all kinds of genetic stuff going on. Some of it proven and some of it not. But Andrew...
Yeah, but if that child has my feet, then how is he supposed to have the same feet as his
well,
father?
that's a pretty good point. What do you think of that,
Everyone
Andrew?
in my family has it.
Does this little boy have any of your features?
Not that I'm seeing.
Meanwhile, you've never seen this child, have you?
I've never seen him before. I've never had any pictures, nothing.
And you also think that the time of conception...
And whose fault is that?
And apparently the time of conception doesn't add up to you, right, Andrew?
Yep.
What? Tell me about that.
The time, the date, it don't add up. Considering 8 months afterwards is when she tells me anything. This is literally
How is
like
it?
8 months, and then just before we're leaving to Washington.
How am I supposed to talk to you and tell you anything when I try to and you block me or you're rude and disrespectful to me?
I blocked you because you harassed me.
No. It's the other way around, Andrew. You harassed me, you called me names, you downgraded me, and you treated me like crap for over 2 years.
Considering I wasn't around for over almost 2 years, haven't been in Helena, nothing.
But it doesn't mean that you haven't talked to me on Facebook and I have all the messages to prove
I
it.
haven't talked
Every
to you
time
at all.
I've mentioned a paternity test, you have sat there and said there's no reason, and then you have blocked me when I have respectfully asked, or you call me names and degrade me and be disrespectful. How am I supposed to work with that?
Do you have any kids?
I have a daughter.
Will you be in this child's life if I prove you're the father?
There's no point in really being around since I've never been around.
You're saying you would not get into that child's life?
No. Considering I don't have the love feelings or the father figure for, or the father figure love for him, or let alone know him, no.
Don't you think you ought to if I prove that you're the birth father? Don't you feel a responsibility?
Even?
Don't you feel a responsibility?
No.
In the case of one-year-old Zayden, Andrew, you are not the father. You don't seem surprised, Cryssie.
I'm surprised to a point, Maury. Andrew was the first person that I slept with in the time that I conceived Zayden. Yes, there was another option, but I didn't think it was possible.
I'll be glad to test that person if you want to, if he agrees to it.
I would love you too.
Fine. Thank you. You are not the father.